There it goes.
So it says, be sure to let everyone know, so we are now recording. We'll get started 2:28 p.m. So
We'll call the meeting to order. We do have a full quorum. And was there any public comments? Did you get anything in?
Nope.
And you posted the agenda on our website?
yes.
Thank you. Okay. Now, we're going into the meat of the meeting. We have two fall projects that are applied for that does not commit all of our funding that we have available, but would you like to go over those, Karen?
Yes. So like I said, we received two applications for the fall 2022 grant round for our Loveline Road program. And I'm going to share my screen so we can all be on the same page. If I can remember how to do that.
Do what now?
Oh, share.
Yeah.
Been a while. Okay. Okay, so I'll start by going through the actual applications with the sketch plans and then the site photos. All right, so this plan is a little blurry, but this is actually the completed project from Edgemont Township's spring 2020 Loveline Road project. So they received funding. They received about $7,770 of Loveline Road funding to stabilize the swale along the road. Because stormwater obviously was undermining the road, causing cracking. And right here is where there's an outlet, an outfall pipe here from the road, and the swale was eroding down to Rocky Run tributary. So they actually didn't install the project according to their plan, but they did install a stone trench underneath 3 new inlet pipes here, inlet pipes. And they, by doing that, they stabilized the swale and they directed all the stormwater out to the swale. They weren't able to do the work that they wanted to do at this swale. They wanted to, I guess, regrade it and turn it into a vegetated swale, but the landowners didn't allow them to do that. So this is the project that they submitted to us. This is the plan that they submitted to us with their completion report. Right now, we're trying to figure out if they were required to pay their contractor prevailing wage, because they did not pay them prevailing wage, and the reason why is because they bid out all of their road projects over a 2-year period, and they included this particular project in their road plans. So, they came to an agreed upon rate with this contractor. However, the Loveline Road program requires that any project where the total cost exceeds $25,000 pays contracted parties prevailing wage. So we're waiting on a determination from the Bureau of Labor and Industry to issue them their final payment. So this project from spring 2020 is kind of up in the air as far as completion goes, but they did apply for a second round of funding to enhance this project. So this is the existing conditions. They stabilized the swale along the road here. They put riprap down at the outfall because that, I guess, is within their right of way, so they did not need landowner permission to do that. But that was the extent of what they were able to do.
They put an infiltration bed in now.
Yes. So you can see the inlets are here and they're covered in stone right now, as the vegetation was establishing. So they did that as their protection during construction. So this is the site location right here. It's a long road and just about the whole road gently slopes down to here. And that swale goes this way into Rocky Run along here behind these homes. And this plot here is actually, I don't know what you would call it, but there's horses there and that is sand. So they have a berm in front of that to keep the stormwater off, and then the township put in a curbing on the road as part of this project, but I don't think it was included in the Loveline Road fund. So these are the existing inlets that, like I said, are covered in stone right now to protect them while the vegetation was establishing. And they are requesting $4,617.70 to install inlet filter bags on these inlets. That's really the extent of their project, their application for their, they're not going to be doing any construction. The funds would cover the purchase of the inlet filter bags, some of the labor to install them, and then a little bit of the engineering for them to go out and just do a site inspection. So should I keep going on to the next project?
Did they provide a design detail for what type of inlet back there?
They did. It's the same ones that Yaden used. They're called FlexStorm Pure Inlet Filters. And according to their application, they cost, each inlet filter bag costs about $1,100. So for a total materials cost of $3,461.
It's a metal framework too that goes along.
Yeah, it has a metal frame. Obviously they require some maintenance, so they need to be emptied out when they get full. And I know Yaden, at least their public works crew, goes out and does maintain them whenever, maybe not every time they get a storm, but quite frequently. So, this would just be an enhancement on this project. Really, they're not going to be doing any big changes. Any questions?
Question. So
Yeah.
the inlet filter bags, they're using them as like a temporary solution or like a permanent solution to this?
They're permanent for as long as the life of the filter bag. So, I don't know exactly how long they last, but they filter out all kinds of debris, including sediment.
Because I've worked with them in the past, and my experience with it is it's a very temporary solution to sediment control because, they fill up really quickly, and if people don't maintain them, then they burst, and now you have another problem.
Right.
But
But these aren't the temporary type. These
Okay.
are the permanent post-construction stormwater, and they are an approved BMP in the state manual. Some of them, I have to look at the specifics. Some of them aren't just for sediment. Some of them are for carbon, and oil and things too. So I'll have to look at that. But they are, permanent, and it would just need to be a commitment that they're going to maintain them.
Correct.
Replace them every so often. Operation and maintenance. Did they address that in their application?
They do not, no.
Because that would be the biggest concern that I have is just if they fail to clean it out every now and then, it could just burst, or if there's a hole in it, then it kind of defeats the purpose, that kind of thing.
Yep.
Right. So that would be a stipulation that I would kind of add on to that is like you have to maintain this or else something.
Are these ones tributary to the inlet infiltration bed, or?
These inlets, they feed into the inlet, to the filtration bed.
So it's sort of like a treatment train. So they would design these and put these in to make sure the longevity of their infiltration trains lasts longer.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't fill in with that sediment right away. You know, it's a lower cost project, which we do receive. I mean, Edgemont's first award was for about $7,000. Now this one they're requesting $4,617.70. So, you know, it's not a huge ask, and it is enhancing a previous project that they installed. My hesitation is just with the current trying to figure out their prevailing wage situation, but that's more, you know, on our end with that. So I can. Well, let's move on. I'll go over the summary of the next project, and then we can look at the grant evaluation forms, and then have a discussion about. Okay, so the next application that we received is from Concord Township. They actually were looking at this project before they considered applying for funding, so they kind of had you know, a plan in motion before they found out about the funding for this. So let's see, Walk-in Ave actually runs right off of 202, just parallel to it. So when you're there, it doesn't look like a low volume road, but they did the traffic count for it at the allowed time, and they did have a traffic count of less than 500 vehicles a day. So let's see, if you look at the aerial image at the bottom, down here, this is just an open meadow, and then there is a new building here. You can see when this aerial was taken, they were under construction. So this meadow is over here on the left. And what's happening from the outlet just past the construction, they're getting erosion along this whole roadside. And because it was so grown up, it's a little hard to see in spots, but I've tried to take as many pictures of the work. So stormwater washing down is undermining the road, causing some serious cracking, and it's washing all of that sediment from the road onto the end of the road where it intersects with 202. And it even goes past this. There's another fence on the side of this driveway here, just where this mailbox is. And that's what we're seeing here. So this is, you know, erosion caused by the water washing over here and, you know, undercutting. Looks like it's exposing utility lines too. So this is the sketch plan, as you can see, is very sketched. And it shows the same detail that's on this engineer plan. So obviously the engineer plan that they submitted to me was on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, and it's designed for, you know, several feet by several feet. So I did my best to kind of zoom in on the text, but they're proposing a 6 foot wide by 6 inch deep vegetated swale along here, 400 linear feet along that side of Walk-in Avenue where the stormwater is causing erosion. And then at the end here, to capture any water that's coming down and to keep it from washing that sediment onto the road here, they're proposing to install this piping and connect it to the existing pipe under 202. And I believe that the Public Works Director mentioned that they are working with PennDOT on that. And then along here, just over the intersection at the end of Walk-in Ave, they're going to be installing additional piping with end walls. And for each of the new inlets that they're installing, they would also be installing the debris filters.
Okay, can you back up to the aerial again?
Yeah.
Now, on that one, so the erosion is on that little grass meadow strip?
Yeah, so what we think is happening, I had Michelle go out and take a look because this was one of our permitted sites. And I think they cleared an existing stormwater pipe that was there. So now the pipe is receiving the water that it's supposed to be receiving and discharging it this way. It seems like it's causing an increase now that the pipe has been cleared in stormwater. So this is where the problem starts, and it just runs along this road here. And by the time it gets to here, it picks up enough speed and washes over the road here, and that's where it's deposited.
That aerial shows no development on the other side. Isn't that all developed on the other side of the road?
No, it's all these houses, and then there's this open space here.
I thought that was another project we had, where those cornfields are.
Back here,
Uh-huh.
I couldn't see it from where I was standing. I couldn't see it.
Oh, you don't see it, so it might not be built. That's what I thought it was built. So, yeah. So she told me about, she was talking about that one.
This one, yeah.
Well, Watkins Avenue. I think there's another development that was proposed across the street.
Up here.
Mm-hmm, that whole big triangle, it's a big one. It goes all the way back.
Okay. I can look into that. Are there any questions about this project so far?
So basically put an inlet on the north side, that little intersection there, flowing down
Yep.
and into the storm system. Okay.
Yeah, so there's an existing inlet here and pipe underneath 202. So they would be installing another inlet farther up. I think two inlets actually, a double one and then one just below. And I connect it to the existing one.
Okay.
And then on the other side of the road, they would extend the piping down this way. And that would go into an unnamed tributary to Beaver Creek, which is part of the Brandywine Creek watershed. Beth, do you have any questions?
No, I think I'm good.
So I can show you the grant evaluation forms that I filled out for each of these. So Edgemont Township is in a stormwater impaired watershed. It is greater than 200 feet upstream. Let's see. Drainage area to the exact project site is greater than 5 acres. Public safety is not affected.
Well, I would probably give it some points because of the fact that the road is caving in.
No, I'm sorry, this is Edgemont Township.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I bounced back. Yeah, Edgemont Township didn't score high, but that's because they did the bulk of their improvements with the previous project. So their overall scoring was 45. You can see why. And then Concord Township, let's see, obviously scored a little higher. So public safety, definitely. Even with the sediment down at the end of the road causes some driving issues. We ran into a resident when we were inspecting the site, and he said it can be dangerous, especially trying to pull out onto 202 from a very small road. Drainage area was also greater than 5 acres. It's not far from that unnamed tributary. Let's see. Now, the bioswale would reduce stormwater velocity and volume to receive the stream. And then both of them did, submit their traffic counts, which is always good. God forbid, they put all that effort into applying and then find out that it's more than 500 vehicles a day. So any questions, any discussion? Personally, I think Concord Township would make a really good project. Edgemont Township, I am unsure.
Okay. I guess the question on the table, would somebody like to make a motion to move forward with recommending approval of these two applications?
I'll do it. I'll make that motion.
A motion was made. Do we have a second?
Sure.
Second, sure.
We have it moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, the ayes have it. We'll move this on to the into our Conservation District meeting this afternoon, and then it'll eventually have to go through County Council as well.
Right.
And I think it's all contingent on Edgemont having the first one approved. I don't know. So.
Yeah, I mean, we're not, Edgemont, you know, they've had some turnover and some COVID problems because they applied pre-COVID. So since then, you know, it's just been a lot of project changes, all of which are understandable. And what they're proposing to install, I think, you know, is going to enhance the previous project. And it is eligible, you know, you can do that.
Good.
So I think it's good that we have a returning applicant as we're getting started. So that's all. I don't think we need a motion for anything else.
We have it on the agenda, what's that?
The motion request is for the recommendation
Oh, okay.
to fund those two projects.
Very good. And you want to update everybody on the Smedley Park, the county?
Yeah. So we applied for funding. I shouldn't say we applied for funding. The County Parks and Rec Department applied for funding to fix up a stormwater basin in Smedley Park through this program, because there is a road going around it, floods very frequently along Crum Creek. The stormwater basin was not functioning properly because we think the existing pipe got smushed or clogged or something happened to it that it wasn't draining properly. Construction finally got started in September, early September.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks great. I've been down there a couple of times. Everything that was in the sketch plan and the engineer plan is there. So that's great. And then I went down during this crazy 4-day storm that we've been having, and it's holding water properly, it's draining properly, it's not flooded, so that one's going very well.
Yeah, so the Smedley Park had a problem with people using it as a mud course for their four-wheel drive. So this is, and they smashed the outlet structure, which the outlet structure was a 4-inch 80C pipe. It wasn't very sturdy. It had a backflow preventer in it. And for a couple of years now, we haven't been able to find the outlet. They can't use a pipe to blow up the other end because there's a backflow preventer. So they finally dug that up and sealed that one off. And then they put in, rather than a 4-inch pipe, they actually put in a heavy-duty 18-inch pipe.
Yep.
And they put a riser structure in with a 4-inch dewatering orifice to mimic what was there before. And cleaned everything out. And then they're going to put guardrail around the whole thing to keep people out of it. So in the long run, it's going to be a big benefit there to the park.
Yeah, so no more ATVs driving through there. Now that they're started. And then we're actually going to be working with the Master Watershed Stewards and the Master Gardeners to plant some native shrubs and herbaceous material in there and naturalize it and make it a good habitat, pollinator friendly, all that good stuff.
And we thought the project was going to be, according to the bids we got, like $50,000. It turns out it's like $150,000. So they're paying for the rest of it, the county, through the capital improvements. Okay.
That's all.
We're in motion for adjournment.
I'll make the motion.
So moved. We got a second?
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded. We are now adjourned.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Short and sweet.
See you later. I'm not going to be on the board meeting today, so if you need something from me, just let me know. And if you want to set up that meeting with Dan, just let me know.
Okay, yeah, I'll give it, Dan and you have time to go through it for Chester because it's a bigger thing out there. So once you have it all figured out, it'd be easier to deal with my little problem. $300,000 is a lot easier than $5 million.
Yeah, for sure. All right, have a good day.
All
Thank
right,
you.
thanks, Beth.
Bye.